Do you live alone? And are you lonely? Now, I know that those two things don't necessarily coincide. You can live with other people and maybe be very active with a work life, what looks like a good social life to other people. Maybe you're part of a large, thriving church, and yet somehow, even amongst the crowds, you feel completely alone. You feel misunderstood. You feel perhaps embarrassed or even ashamed. Did you know that almost all of us struggle with shame at one point in our lives? And actually probably more than we like to admit. One of the sad things about shame is we don't admit it. And of course, if we had somebody close to us, then we could be honest with them if we really felt we could trust them. My generation didn't really live alone. I did for a few months, and I very quickly sublet my lounge because in my one-bedroom flat, I felt isolated and I didn't like it. Now, maybe you could change your living arrangements and live with somebody, but that doesn't magically solve the problem, particularly if you have this inner need, if you like, to isolate yourself for fear of other people finding out who you really are and what you're really like. The truth is, they've probably got the same fear themselves. And, here in the UK, actually 7% of adults say that they feel lonely often or always. And I'm sure it's probably similar in the USA and other places that people might be watching this from. And only in the UK, 20% of people reported that they never felt lonely. This is quite worrying, and young people with disabilities, people who are poor, people who are vulnerable are often more likely to live alone. And there is good evidence that living alone and being isolated and feeling isolated can worsen your physical health and your mental health, and I would suggest also your spiritual health. You see, the Bible is quite clear. There's a whole list of one another's in the New Testament that are how we are meant to relate to one another. We're supposed to love one another, care for one another, sometimes confront one another, teach one another, be kind to one another, encourage one another. You can't do those things on your own. And as I say, living alone isn't the issue, although it might help. The issue is, who is in your life that you can trust and you can be open with and you can share your struggles with? I want to encourage you today. What are you going to do today? Are you going to move? I mean, that might take a bit longer and it may not be the best solution or even the only solution or even the right solution for you. More to the point, who are you going to call? Who are you going to ask, can we meet up for coffee? Who are you going to open up to? Maybe just a little at first. Nothing too big. See if they respond the way you think they're going to be responding. Are they somebody full of grace? Are they somebody full of compassion? Are they somebody that will perhaps also open up back to you? Now, friendship has its dangers. Relationships have their dangers. And so I'm not asking you to be foolish about this. I'm asking you to take it step by step. And I'm asking you to be alert to the right sort of person, and sometimes, yes, to walk away if the relationship isn't working. But what I'm saying to you, and I believe this is something that some of you need to hear more than others right now, what I'm saying to you is this. Jesus says, love one another. Who are you going to love? Who are you going to show love to? Some of those people might be people who are more mature as a Christian than you, further along the journey than you. They can help you. They can pastor you. Some of them might even have skills or knowledge that you need. Someone who's at the same sort of level as the Christian journey as you, a peer, if you like. You could pray with them. You could support each other. You could share your struggles together and realize that you're not alone. Perhaps it's somebody who's a new Christian, and you could help them. You could be the person just that little bit further along the journey than they are, guiding the way, if you like, showing them, well, I've made this mistake. The truth is, though, even somebody who's a brand new Christian might have a lot to teach you. We were never meant to be alone. Some of the first things that God said in Genesis, after creating man in his own image. He said it's not good for a man to be alone. And it's not good for a woman to be alone either. And I'm not just talking, by the way, about romantic relationships. In fact, actually everything I've said today is more about those relationships that you trust, typically of the same gender, where you're open with them, you share with them, you're brothers together, sisters together. And you know what? Two of you will be stronger than you on your own. So who's it going to be? Who are you going to call today? You can read this article, and the link will be in the description.